Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. Now, y'all know I'm one of the biggest Gojo supporters in the whole damn interweb. Y'all know I really be supporting this man. I even got a theory about him coming back to life. You know what I'm saying? I really be showcasing love. Like, I even called out Sukuna and Gege for the way they murk my boy. Like, all that type of stuff. You know I love Gojo, man. But simultaneously, right? If he doesn't come back, right? Obviously, spoilers a lot. They should say spoilers in the title somewhere. But um, listen, if he does not come back, it's not bad writing. Because yes, Gojo is the strongest failure in manga history, right? Maybe second to Madara. I think Madara is the strongest failure in manga history because that boy just failed every single time because he got pit up against gods and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough for him. And it's similar with Gojo. Like when he first fought his fight against Toji, like he was young, naive, and then his next major fight was, kill thousands, hundreds of innocents or thousands of innocents, and win or get sealed. And he decided to sacrifice himself and trust his students. And then his next crazy battle was against the strongest sorcerer in history, and Ryumen Sukuna, with hundreds, if not 1,000 years of XP, and the fact that he had all the knowledge, so many advantages in that fight. He even had like a hidden reverse body healing thing that he's been hiding, type shit. But I don't think that healed his brain because again, I think that just needs to cool down. It's he can't forcefully heal it anymore. So I think that's the thing with Sukuna, but yeah, so basically what I'm talking about is I don't think if Gojo doesn't come back that is bad writing because again his success would be his students winning. As long as one of his students win, especially if Megumi gets saved, then Gojo won. Because even though he told his students not to go until they were stronger than him, which never happened in the fight because he got slashed in half when he was in pretty decent condition, and he just got caught off guard or whatever you want to say. Happened there. I don't want to. This is not the video for me to go into speculations and gay and all of that jazz. But yeah, and him, finally being just a person and realizing, listen, I'm actually more than just being the strongest. I'm actually a person. But simultaneously, I feel like he didn't really learn his lesson because he wished he gave Sukuna his all so that Sukuna could feel satisfaction. But Sakuna did feel satisfaction because he said, "You opened my sky." That's like the best translation that I've seen, Satoru Gojo. So that means obviously he did give him some kind of satisfaction. But Sakuna doesn't relish in the same type of satisfaction as the rest of them do. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to give you back that love by giving you a death and fighting you. And how far you push him is up to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the beauty of it. But yeah, so I think Gojo really, you know what I'm saying, I think him like passing now, and even if it was suddenly, and some people might not like exactly how he died, but I think him dying is completely fine and reasonable. And I think him not coming back is also completely fine and reasonable. Despite what I believe, I genuinely just think that, his character arc is completed, right? You can continue it and expand upon it, right? But you don't have to because his character doesn't have to have a happy ending. I don't want to say satisfying. It doesn't have to have a happy ending. And I think him having a tragic story actually also is its own great narrative because it proves again, having all the power and yet unable to do anything. You know what I'm saying? The strongest 6-eye user ever, but yet the only 6-eye that failed ever, by the sounds of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, every time Kenjaku failed against a 6-eye. And this time he did not. And I don't even know if Kenjaku ever wanted to bring back Sukuna, but I think he just kept failing so much that he was like, you know what? Let me have an extra contingency plan on top of my contingency plan. And the disaster, of course, was coming about and him utilizing them and having this meticulous plan and knowing Gojo's character. Because, again, I think back in those days, those other 6-eye users probably had no problem killing innocents to win. Because back then, people were way more ruthless, right? Even Gojo's whole family is very ruthless. But Gojo would have been the same if he was like a younger Gojo. But the older Gojo refuses to do that. And that showcases his willpower and his kindness. Right? Despite him being willy-nilly about stuff, he does care. And he proves it because he got himself sealed and potentially lost his life, all because he wanted to protect innocent people. Even ahead of protecting his students, but because he believes in his students, he believes that they can surpass him. And I think that's all the lesson he needed to show them. He needed to show them that they're not thinking beyond themselves, they're boxed in. And then I think Sukuna actually gave them an even bigger lesson by slashing the world itself. Right? And I think this opens up so much potential for Yuta, for Hakari, for see, the thing with Maki is I feel like her power has such a fucking hard cap on it, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe she also unlocks and thinks beyond the limitations of what, you know, Toji did, and goes beyond that as well. You know, and I think all of these people, sorcerers, you know, Higuruma, all of these sorcerers watching the fight, I think have maximized their potential as fast as possible, right? You know, they'll not reach the absolute peak, but I think, you know, for the amount of time that they had, I think they pushed themselves beyond what anybody would expect. And I think we'll see that when Yuji and Higuruma fight goddamn Sukuna. So that's what I'm really excited to see. Yeah, I think, you know, Gojo being a failure is fine, because he's not a failure because he's weak. He's a failure because he cares, essentially, right? And even with 15 Finger Sukuna, if Gojo didn't care about saving Megumi, he would have just fought him there and then and killed him, and then fought Kenjaku. Maybe Kenjaku would have. I don't think Kenjaku would have joined the fight, because any domain expansion opened by either of them would kill him. So, you know, he could have done that there and there, and I think he would have won. So I think it makes sense. You know, again, him caring is what leads to his failure every single time. Him caring about Rico is what got him to lose against Toji, right? If he didn't care about Rico, he would have got there a lot faster. He wouldn't be as tired. He wouldn't have taken her on holiday. He wouldn't have tried so hard to make sure that she had fun for her last moments. You know, Shibuya arc, again, wouldn't have cared about the civilians. And with Sukuna, he wouldn't have cared about Megumi. And I think he's the team for him. Caring is what has let him down. But I think that same caring is what's going to strengthen his students to unlock themselves and push themselves to a new level. Unless, of course, Gege decides that Sukuna's way is the way, and they have to discard everything in order to be the strongest. And I guess that's what we will see. If Sukuna's way becomes the way, then Gojo was a failure from the beginning to the end, and he failed because he chose the wrong method. But if Gojo's caringness, even though people call him selfish, but his caringness wins, then Gojo wins, and that's really it. Anyway, it's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. I'm out.